Good morning, dear students. Today I will tell you about a new chapter, that is the contemporary South Asia. I will tell you about in this chapter about the South Asia, which consists of the countries, 7 countries, that is the Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. It has diversity, not only in the constitution but also the geo and political field. First of all, I will tell you about that is Pakistan. There is a two types of rule in Pakistan, that is a military rule as well as the democracy. Do you know, students? I will tell you a new question that is very important for the final exams. Its a question is, military rule and democracy are the two sides of the same coin in the Pakistan. It means that is Pakistan, it has a country which has two types of rule. Sometimes it has military rule and sometimes it has democracy. So we can call it the same coin in the Pakistan. There is a two sides, that is military and democracy. Now I will explain it very simply. That means Pakistan has two types of rules, that is the military rule as well as the democracy. After the implementations of Pakistan Constitution, General Ayub Khan, that is the first person who took over the administration of the country. He got himself elected, but people were not satisfied with his rule. Under the General Yahya Khan, military rule was established. During his Pakistani faced Bangladesh crisis, India fought war with Pakistan in 1971. Then a new independent country was established, that was known as the East Pakistan as well as Bangladesh. Do you know, I have told you about that is that there is two persons, those who establish military rule in Pakistan, that is the General Ayub Khan as well as General Yahya Khan. Afterwards, in 1971, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto formed a new government, that is an elected government. Or as you know, elected government is elected by the people. It means there is a democracy. He came to power in Pakistan from 1971 to 77. In 1977, General Zia-ul-Haq made his government, but he also faced pro-democracy movement from 1982 to 1988. In 1988, Benazir Bhutto made an elected democratic government. She belonged to Pakistani People Party. 1999, military rule was established. Now I told you about that is first of all, two-person military rule, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto elected government, Zia-ul-Haq same elected government, as well as 1988 Benazir Bhutto. She was a lady who belonged to a democracy. She belonged to Pakistan People Party. In 1999, military rule was established once again. That time, Pervez Musharraf was the Prime Minister of that time. In 2001, he was elected himself as a President of Pakistan. Now, Pakistan has once again a military rule. So, we can say that there was a first time there was military rule, then democracy, then military rule. Now, there is a democracy under the Imran Khan. Now I will tell you about those factors which were responsible for Pakistan failure in building to a stable democracy. It means that is why Pakistan has no stable democracy. What are the factors which are responsible for not a stable democracy? Do you know, there is many factors there. First of all, the social dominance. Social dominance means there are some people, those who don't want to establish democracy in the society. They are the military, clergy, land-owning aristocracy. They wanted that there should be elected government overthrown and establish military government. The second reason was the conflict with India. Pakistan always tried to war with India. That is, these groups always said that political parties and democracy in Pakistan are fluid and its security would be harmed by selfish-minded party and chaotic democracy. so the army stay in power is justified. Third one is there is no support of international politics. That means there is a lack of international support. Pakistan has no international support. It's dominant. That lack of international support in Pakistan has encouraged the military to continue its dominance. USA and other Western countries have encouraged the military rule in the past for their own reason. Then global Islamic terrorism. Everybody knows that Pakistan has a country of terrorists. That is, there is some people, those who belong to terrorists. They wanted instability in the democracy. USA and other Western countries fear that Pakistan has nuclear power. If these nuclear weapons will go in the hands of the terrorist group, they can create problem for the countries. So they wanted that the protector of Western interests in the West Asia and South India. Now you can understand that is Pakistan is not a democratic country. There is a dictatorship under the military rule. That is, now I am telling you about the Bangladesh. As you have known that India fought a war with Pakistan in 1971, that is known as the Indo-Pak War. After this war, a new country was established in the map of South Asia, that is the Bangladesh or even the East Pakistan. Now I am telling you about the demands of East Pakistan for set up democracy, how the democracy established in Bangladesh. Bangladesh was a part of Pakistan, but after this war in 1971, it became a new country that is known as the East Pakistan as well as the Bangladesh. Now I am telling you a story. Bangladesh is a part of Pakistan from 1947 to 1971. It consisted of partitioned area of Bengal and Assam from the British India. After the partition, East Pakistan began protest against the unfair treatment to Bengali culture and language. Their leaders demanded that fair representation in administration, fair share in political power, as well as autonomy for the eastern region. Now, the history I am telling you, you have to learn that story as you will learn easily. In 1971, there was election held. The elections were started in East Pakistan in 1970. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, he was a great hero of Pakistan, that is East Pakistan, which is known as Bangladesh. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman won all seats. He belongs to Awami League. Dear students, you have to learn that Sheikh Mujibur Rahman belonged to a new party that is known as the Awami League. He secured a majority in the proposed Constituent Assembly for the whole of Pakistan. But the leaders of West Pakistan, which is belonged to near about the Punjab, refused it. Sheikh Mujibur were arrested. Bengali people started mass movements. General Yahya Khan and his army tried to suppress this movement. Thousands of people were killed there. Many people migrated into India. It is a great problem, or even you can say there was a great refugee problem faced by India. Indian government helped them financially as well as militarily. In 1971, Indo-Pak War was fought. Pakistan lost this battle. Bangladesh was established as a free country. Now Bangladesh drafted its new constitution. It's based on secularism, democracy and socialism. 1975, Sheikh Mujib amended this constitution. He established presidential system there. He abolished all the parties except his own party. You have learned that was which party he belonged to, that is the Awami League. In August 1975, he was killed by military. Do you know who was killed? That is Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was killed by his own military. In 1971, Zia-ul Rahman formed a new government which belonged to the Bangladesh National Party. He was also killed by military. General H.M. Ashar became the new president for 5 years. In 1990, he was stepped down. Step down means he was removed from his throne. In 1991, multi-party elections were held in Bangladesh. Now that is it means if there is a multi-party elections, it means there was established a new democracy. Now India got independence in 1947 and Bangladesh got independence in 1971 with the help of India. Now I'm telling you a new question or even a new part, that is Sri Lanka. Do you know, I have told you firstly that is South Asia consists 7 countries, that consists of Pakistan. I have told you about the history of Pakistan as well as the Bangladesh. Now I am telling you that is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a country near about India, in the foothills of the India. That is, there is a question that is very important in the point of view of examination. Ethnic conflict. Ethnic conflict that is related to the cultural or even languages conflict. Dear, you have to learn now the new ethnic conflict and democracy in Sri Lanka. I am telling you about name the principal players in the ethnic conflict in Sri Lanka and how do you assess that prospect of resolution of this conflict. Sinhalas and Sri Lanka Tamils are the main players in the ethnic conflict in Sri Lanka. Now, there is a 1 mark question. Who was the principal player in the ethnic conflict in Sri Lanka? Your answer should be that is Sinhalas and Sri Lankan Tamils. Sinhalas belong to Sri Lanka and Sri Lankan Tamils belongs to those people who belong to Tamil Nadu but came there in Sri Lanka. Now, I am telling you a question, that is Sinhalas and Sri Lanka Tamil are the main players in ethnic conflict in Sri Lanka. After its independent, politics in Sri Lanka was dominated by Sinhala communities. Sinhalas were against those Tamils who had migrated from India to Sri Lanka and settled there. They wanted some concession, but Sri Lankan should not give any concession to Tamils because they thought that Sri Lanka belonged to Sinhalas only. They said that Tamils are guests. In 1983, the militant organizations has been fighting against Sri Lankan army. That is, the militant organization is LITTE. I spell LTTE. I repeat, LTTE. It means Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. You have knowledge that in 9th also we have also read the chapters, not only 9th but is the 10th, that is the power sharing. They demanding Tamil Eelam as a separate country for the Sri Lankan Tamils. Indian Tamils thought that the Indian government should protect the interest of Sri Lankan Tamils. They negotiate with the Sri Lankan Tamils government on Tamil questions. In 1987, first time Indian government directly involved in this matter. India signed an accord with the Sri Lanka. Indian government sent an army to stabilize relations between the Sri Lankan government and Tamil Indian. Indian army got into a fight with the LITTE. In 1989, the Sri Lankan thought that Indian government interfered the interest of internal affair of Sri Lanka. In 1989, Indian Peacekeeping Force, that is the IPKF. I repeat, I means Indian, P means peace, K for keeping and F for force, pulled out Sri Lankan without its aim. Now, I am telling you about, in spite of ongoing conflict, Sri Lanka has resisted considerable economic growth and high levels of human development. Do you know how? Because of the economic growth of Sri Lanka is recorded very high percentage. Sri Lanka is the first developing country who control rate of the growth of population. Everybody knows that is if the population of a country is growing up, that country will go on poverty. But Sri Lanka was the first country who controlled their population. So the population, if the population is controlled, then that is compulsory, that is a necessary. There will be development. It was the first country who liberalized the economy. Liberalized means liberty provide. It has had the highest per capita GDP. If the country is developed, then the GDP will be grown on, and that is developed country. Despite internal conflict, it has maintained democracy. Now, dear students, you have to learn 3 questions. First of all, Pakistan, second is the Bangladesh, and third one is the Sri Lanka. If you have learned these 3 stories, the most important questions you have learned for your final exams, we will go through in the next lecture, that is the Nepal and Maldives. Thanks.